Archie Luxury reporting for Baselworld 2017, and I gotta tell you, one of the highlights of Baselworld this year is Tudor. And I gotta tell you, Tudor has done something really, really spectacular. They've done a number of things. They've got they're releasing a chronograph, the Tudor chronograph with a steel bezel, which I think looks great. But it's apparently a column wheel chronograph with a vertical clutch. What that means is, what is that fancy terminology? Well, it's a fucking really, really high-end chronograph. High-end chronograph, column wheel, that's even my Breguet Type 20 was not it's a cams chronograph, not a column wheel chronograph. I mean, column wheel chronograph, Patek uses column wheel chronograph. Vacheron, brand, AP uses column wheel chronographs. It's expensive. So Tudor has got a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph at affordable money. That is absolutely amazing. And I gotta tell you, one thing that I think is absolutely spectacular, they got a two-tone, you'd say two-tone sub, well, it's the Black Bay, two-tone Black Bay. And it's got a vintage charm to it. It really, really has. I mean, Tudor has really exploded. And I mean, what the thing is that you look back on Tudor in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were fucking ugly, really ugly models. They had things like the Hydronaut. Jesus, were they ugly, 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 fugly watches. And now Tudor's like Rolex's younger, trendy brother. I mean, you look at what they've done. They've tapped into that collectible market. I mean, Rolex has always been anti the vintage market because Rolex doesn't make any fucking money out of vintage watch success. Patek has kind of very cleverly, they've used the vintage market, like they've actually bought a lot of pieces on the market. Patek has done. They've put them into the Patek Museum, and they've kept that mystique to build their brand. But Rolex has always been anti the collector market. I mean, Rolex has said, "Oh, we can't service pieces once, you know, yada yada yada. Once it's over such and such year old, there's no parts." They've been very fucking unhelpful. Whereas Patek has said, "We can service anything. Mind you, it'll fucking cost you. It will certainly cost you." But Rolex has kind of abandoned that market. And one thing about Tudor is it's really cashing in on that collectible market. They really have some fantastic Tudors that are out there. And very clever how they've done it. Very clever indeed. Very clever the way Tudor has re-engineered itself, and the models they've released, very, very keyed in with what watch. In fact, they've done it too well, and they've released some models now which has got, it looks like a rivet bracelet type watch. You know, the bracelet's it's a rivet bracelet, but no, it's just machined that way to look like that type of vintagey bracelet. It's very, very clever indeed. Clever. They are solid links, but they're done that way to look vintagey. And it's pretty good stuff. I tell you what, I'm very, very impressed with a lot of the Tudors. And I mean this Tudor that's out there with the column wheel chronograph, what do you recommend? Do you recommend an Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon or a column wheel Tudor? Ooh, it's getting harder, isn't it? I mean, I still love my Speedy. But look at the value proposition that Tudor's doing. It's amazing. Archie Luxury reporting for Baselworld 2017. And here we go. Tudor. This is the big surprise. Tudor has really taken the world by storm. And let's have a look at some of the Baselworld offerings. And this is where it's at. The Tudor models. Look at this. It's the Tudor Heritage Black Bay Chrono. And whilst Rolex is frantically producing Daytonas with ceramic bezel, for the Tudor Chrono, they've gone and using a very vintage appeal. Now, the amazing thing is, this piece here, snowflake hands, in-house chronograph movement. It's a column wheel chronograph. That's what high-end brands, but it's also a vertical clutch chronograph. This is what serious, expensive chronographs use. This ain't no ETA shitter. This is a absolutely amazing price point, amazing quality at this price point. And take a look at this watch here. Very attractive. With, it looks like a riveted bracelet, but no, they're solid links, which are just made to look that way. Absolutely beautiful. The other release at Baselworld, which is really taken, I must say I'm a bit shocked, is the Tudor Heritage Black Bay. And this is in steel and gold. And it's got that vintage look, snowflake hands. It's no cyclops, no crown protectors. It's got that rivet bracelet, which is actually solid links, but they're made to look like a vintage rivet bracelet. It's just fantastic stuff. The Tudor Heritage Black Bay 41, which just, it's like a Rolex Explorer 1, just simple, elegant, well balanced, no date, absolutely gorgeous. There's quite a lot of development there. I'm not sure whether I really like the Tudor Claire de Rose. Tudor should stick at doing what they do best. Leave Cartier to Cartier. That's what I can say there. But I gotta tell you, Tudor now has so many wonderful things. We've got the North Flag. We've got the Monte Carlo. We got so many classic pieces that Tudor has released that it's really, it's just becoming such a cool brand. And I gotta tell you, Tudor itself is, they're just getting that quality. They're just becoming, they're just so cool. They've got that vintage appeal in a modern piece. It's just so damn cool. I don't know what to say. This chronograph, I gotta tell you, could I, if I had a choice of getting if a fan asked me, would you get a Omega Speedmaster Man on the fucking moon, or would you get a Tudor Black Bay Chrono with a column wheel and a vertical clutch? Far out. You'd have a hard time criticizing the Tudor, wouldn't you? And this is exactly what you want. You want releases at Baselworld which shock you. Shock your senses. I'm Archie Luxury, reporting on Tudor, probably the biggest surprise of all time.
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece, we adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.